So as I mentioned, these next 2 weeks are base camp managers because there's so much information. I do not want to cram into 30 minutes.
Good idea.
Okay, just first here I'll start with my upcoming topics. I have scheduled out to the end of April. So like I said, next week, base camp managers number 2. The 25th, focusing on badges and awards, since that's going to be a new concept for badges. April 8th, leaving feedback on base camp. Essentially, anyone in your club will be able to give you feedback on your base camp profile. So I'll talk about that. Then external training is a whole other elephant that takes a lot of approval. We'll touch a little bit on that tonight. April 22nd, we're just going to do a quick recap on things since that's the week of rollout.
Oh,
And
okay.
after the week after, there'll be lots of questions.
Sure. Good idea. Good plan, Jacob.
So that is the plan as of right now through the end of April. Okay, so base camp managers. As a reminder, that is going to be the president, vice president education, and secretary. Those are 3 who have administrative access in base camp for the clubs. They're responsible for verifying projects and level completions, external training requests, and this is going to be an awesome new feature, tracking the progress of members. One of the issues I had is VPE. I never knew where members were at with their education.
Yeah, it was hard.
Honestly, there's a handy graph. There's actually several graphs for this now. Oh, there's Kiki.
Oh, good. Hi, Kiki.
Hi, Kiki.
And then the third point we'll focus on is getting organized. So, logging in as a base camp manager, we'll touch on this here quick as well, because this is apparently a lot of confusion for people. So first, you'll go to the website to log in, obviously, and we'll go to Pathways Learning Experience. And this is how you log into Pathways regardless. Then you'll actually get this screen next, where you can see you can either log in as a member or as a base camp manager.
Oh, okay.
You'll see the drop-down menu here as well. If you're part of multiple clubs, or that's where you can choose which club you want to work in. Basically what that means, you can't work, well you could if you wanted to, but you can't work the same educational goals in 2 different clubs at once. They prefer you to work on different paths to better work towards your DTM. And please stop me if you have questions.
That would be a little different than currently where you can
Yes.
working in your club manual. Okay, so you're doing separate things for each club. Is that what you just said?
Yep.
So
Now,
you can't do a speech in another club like we're doing now then?
you can.
Oh.
What you do then is, and we can touch on this actually during the external training on the 15th.
Okay.
You can actually switch where you give your awards to. But so we'll cover that on the 15th because that's oh, that was my watch. Okay. So I am not going to reinvent the wheel. We're going to go to some online modules that Toastmasters already has in place. And this gives you a view as well what Pathways is going to look like for the online classes. Now this will be available to every base camp manager so they can kind of see how to do their job a little better. So there's the overview. One thing I'll point out that's been brought up a few times on different forums, you cannot designate any other officer to be a base camp manager. It has to be that president, vice president, education secretary. So that's one thing they'll need to be focused on during elections for them to be aware of that. So we'll look at first verifying project completions.
There are any comments?
No. Let's see here. Okay. So, okay. This is, can you guys hear that okay?
I can hear you.
Yep, we can hear you.
Do you not hear the online module talking?
No.
No. Let me try this way.
I texted Donnie. She said she'll be logging on, it sounds like.
Okay. Let's see. Do you see the module screen on there?
Yes.
Do you hear that now?
No.
Oh, I guess. No.
Okay. Let's do this a little differently then. I thought that would share. Okay. So what it's showing right here is you can search for different, in Pathways you'll be able to search for different resources or club members. So, let's see here. Oh, there's Donnie. So, what it's saying here is you want to search using single keywords. You see mentor. Thus, you'll be able to see the different project. You're seeing here project descriptions for mentoring, which we actually covered last week. Let's see here. Okay, that is we don't want that tutorial. I apologize. I thought it was going to be a little slicker than that.
Well, it's a good place to try it, though, Jacob.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's Helen and Donnie's on. Okay, let me get back into. Here, we'll look at Pathways while I open these tutorials back up. Which would be a good chance as well to see how to get into the tutorials. So Basecamp, tutorials and resources. And then there's the Basecamp Manager and tutorials.
Now, this is an area that only the Basecamp manager can get to, correct?
Correct, or Pathways guides.
Or a pathway guide, right? Okay.
Yes. So, up here, let me pull up. I can send this document out to you guys as well. I am going to have what did I open? Okay, this is okay. So we're gonna use this PowerPoint now. This is from actually George Marshall in District 57. We might see if we can get him to a Q&A session with us at the conference if we can get him, if we have the technology capabilities.
Are you backing up? Is that?
No, I'm trying to get through. Here we go.
Okay, you're trying to get to a certain space.
Yes.
Like I say, screens are just flying by, and it's like, there's no way I
They
can read
are.
it fast.
Okay. Actually, it's a good point right here. You will have to verify completions in Basecamp. You'll also have to submit it on Club Central. They do not have these linked up. And so when a member finishes a level in Basecamp, you need to acknowledge it in Basecamp, obviously. Then you need to acknowledge it in Club Central. That's how you get those DCP points for level completions.
Okay.
That is one thing people keep struggling with. They're like, oh, I acknowledge it in Basecamp, we're good. But no, they're not. It's you have to also verify in Club Central.
So first you acknowledge it in base camp and then in Club Central? Is
Correct.
that what you, okay.
Now, granted, it's much easier verifying levels in Club Central than what is right now. You don't have to enter the speech tiles in. So that makes it a little quicker.
Okay.
Okay, that was not as good as, that's not the PowerPoint I thought it was. Let's get up here. Okay. We're going to do a PDF style viewing. Can you see that okay? Is it readable?
Yeah, I can make it
Well,
bigger.
not on the blue screen, it's not readable.
Okay.
I can make mine a little bigger. I'm on an iPad. It says there's pending requests in that left blue box.
Yeah, I can see that. Those
Let me
screens.
see which. Okay. Yep, responding to level completions. So as a Basecamp manager, you're going to see this pending request screen. And I'll send this document out to you as well so you can review it. Once you click into that pending request, you'll see all members who are needing a level, well, basically they need their completion validated. So you'll see a member's name. I apologize, it's so tiny. And then you'll click the green check mark if it's good. Now this is where you have the option as the Basecamp manager to say no. Either you did not complete this request as requested, or there's something wrong that needs corrected. They may message you, say, hey, I made a mistake here, can you please kick it back out so I can correct it? You'll have that option.
So how does the Basecamp manager know that the person has completed the various projects, like in the level 1, the icebreaker, those speeches and evaluation, and the research and giving a speech? Can they
Okay.
see something?
So yeah, they can go in and actually review what was completed. And
Is that
actually, when the members go through pathways, they have to, mark each project complete. And so Basecamp managers, I believe, should be able to go in and review the different projects that were completed. There's also thought that the Basecamp managers should have a general idea anyways with the club members, what they have completed in their club. This way you have 3 of them who can kind of keep track of that a little bit. Okay, like I said, if there's a problem with the request, you can deny it. Now you can't just be mean and say, hey, I don't like what you did, deny it. There needs to be a reason why. Now, when you either approve or deny a request, you actually have to add in comments. Commonly, this will be just be who approved it in your title. If you're denying the request, you need to say why. So, could be, I see you marked you complete table topics on the state, but we do not have record of you doing that. Please re-enter once you have completed this objective. Okay, so that's approving and denying requests. That one's not too hard.
I think the hard part is really being able
Don't
to
go.
see the different projects that are actually complete. And I'm not
Yeah.
understanding that yet, but maybe it will become clear.
Yeah, and it will. And once again, that'll be one of those things that you'll get the idea right now, but until you actually get in there and see it.
Right.
Now, if you have a member who is in a print path only and does not want to do the online, you still verify the completion in Basecamp. This is a good time to state. If you have a person who wants to be secretary but does not want to use Basecamp, that would not work very well.
Right.
You want to make sure officers are comfortable with Basecamp.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, back on the topic here. If you're in a print path, you search for the member's name. And then you go to their transcript. And there'll be a button on there. And you'll open the path they're working on. So right there you see Presentation Mastery, Print, and you open their curriculum.
Oh. Mhm.
And this kind of gives you a view of actually what pathways will look like for anyone going online as well. So like in the example right here, members complete the icebreaker in level 1. You validate their completion. Essentially what you're doing as a Basecamp manager for those in print is you're managing their Basecamp. You're actually going in and validating they complete each level. Okay, so
Yeah, that makes sense.
up here we click into view details on level 1, and these are the different projects.
There we go. There we go.
So the icebreaker, evaluation and feedback completion, research and presenting completion, and then marking level 1 completion once all those are finished.
Mhm.
With print paths, I'd recommend going in and doing them as they complete the different projects. So don't go in after they've done all 3 speeches, marking complete. Make it easier on yourself and just go ahead and mark those once the paths are finished. Okay, so when we click, when the checklist will open, we'll check the box under completion, and then we'll, on the left, we'll save it as complete. And the page will load and show the project completed. And once all the required projects are validated, you'll be able to validate level 1 completion and in this one, presentation mastery checklist. And then once again, for level completion validation, it'll be the same as each project in there. So you'll have that checkbox to complete.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see here what we can get in here quickly in the next 8 minutes. Okay, we'll do a simple one. As a Basecamp manager, you have access to dashboards. That's going to give you wonderful information as to where the progress is going with your clubs. So once we're at the home screen for Basecamp Manager, you'll click into Member Progress. As we're looking at different path types. So there'll be a key. Let me see here. Looks like I might have a chat question. Okay, Floyd asks a question. Do we know what the validation or enter info looks like in Club Central? I do not as of right now. I can probably get someone to screenshot that for me and send it to you. Okay. So going back here on the path type dashboards, like I said, we'll click into the member progress key, and then on the left side there'll be a link for path type.
Oh, I see.
And you can see there's going to be different graphs in there. Now, unfortunately, these graphs do not refresh automatically. So they want you to go over to the Options tab on the upper corner here, hit refresh, and then down here, where's my box? That wasn't what I wanted. But down here in this corner, there's going to be a last refresh date and time. So you want to make sure that's current. So with this, you can see how many members are in the online and how many are in print. Gives you a general idea.
Is that in the world?
That's your club.
Oh, just my club. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, just the club that the base manager's in.
Yep.
Okay.
The club
Basic.
base convention is in. They can see
Okay.
how many's online, how many's in print. To keep track of that way.
Okay.
Then you can go into view details.
Whoa.
And it's going to show you, it's going to tell you who's all online and who's in print.
Yeah.
So that way you have an idea of, you know, who might have to go in and actually validate completions of each project. And then there's one other part of this I want to show you. I think this one's it. No, it's that PowerPoint I just didn't want. I just closed. I have too many documents in here. Let's see, this was the path type. Okay, so this is path progress dashboard. This is going to be an important one. Seeing where you're at and knowing who's close to completions on what levels. Okay, so once again, we'll hit the key, member progress, and we'll go to the path progress tab. Once again, they want you to refresh to get the most updated information. Now let's see if I can enhance this a little bit. Okay, so now it's going to show you who's working in what path and how many is working each path. You'll see the red bars are in progress, obviously. Show you the number of people. Blue is completed, and the gray is registered. Obviously, register you'll only see on level 1. But right here, this is obviously just overview of the different paths in progress in your club. Now, this is going to be very useful if you get a new member and you want to match up with someone else working in that path for help, whether that be a mentoring or just they want help getting started in that particular path. You can look and see, okay, who is in the selected area and match them up there.
You're not seeing names, are you? Because I don't.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But that's on the last one. You can go to view details. And that
I saw it
you.
when we were looking at that other one. Yes.
Yep. So the same way with this. And it will break down for you even further. Paths registered but not yet started. Paths in progress. And then obviously paths completed. Now, with any of these, you'll be able to do the view details, and you'll be able to see who's in what status and what path. And I will send all these documents out to you here tonight as well. Are there any questions for me right now? I know it's went through a lot.
I've got a question for you. It looks like that last area, that might be like watching for red flags. If people, like a new member registered and they don't really ever get going and it's been a few weeks, then
Yep.
maybe that is an alert that you need to send them an email and say, hey, do you need some help? Do you have any questions? I'm here for you.
Exactly.
You
So you
know,
can look
if
in there.
they look like they're progressing, then, you know, they're okay. But if
Yeah,
people get
basically,
stuck,
if you see any gray bars, that'll be a sign like, okay, let's keep an eye on this and check in and see, you know, where they're at.
yeah.
I don't know if you're going to cover it in another session, but I'd printed out the first couple of pages and it's talking about projects outside our club.
Yep, that's the external training as well on the 15th.
Okay.
And I'll touch on that as well here next week. I'll show you.
Okay.
These are all different handouts I have just for Basecamp managers. And so right there you have the external training. Like, so we'll cover those a little bit next week as well.
Good. Yeah, I think because that's important. Those of us that are in 2, 3, 4, 5 clubs,
Yeah.
Yes.
we're used to being able to just walk into another club and do a speech and not
Yes.
give it a thought. I just do it.
Yeah. Well, and the external trainings are actually also for if you're speaking outside a Toastmasters club.
Yeah, and that
Yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
what
Yeah.
It's like there's the projects of mentoring or networking outside of Toastmasters. So that's obviously going to be an external training request.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just hope it's not too onerous to go to our second or third club and give a speech, because that's how we've been moving along more rapidly.
Oh, I know.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can we just print off the evaluation and give our speech wherever we want in one of our clubs?
Yes, you
And-
can.
And then we can just give it to our VPE or president or secretary to enter for us, or could we enter it ourselves?
As far as presenting at other clubs, there actually will be no issue. You'll
Okay,
go mark
good.
complete. The external is mainly for if you're completing a speech outside of Toastmasters.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Doing a project outside of Toastmasters.
So it won't affect Claire or I belonging to 3 or 3+ clubs.
Nope. That'll just be if you want to change who gets credit for that project completion. So say you want to give a level completion to Strictly Speaking, but you gave the path is registered in Capital Voices, you'd have to switch it over.
Oh, I see. Okay, we'll have to
Now,
think through
when you
that.
switch it over, is that temporary, or how often can you switch it over?
I'm betting that's Helen.
Buddy, is that Lincoln?
That is Lincoln. I'm going to mute. He's yelling at the dog. I think the dog just ate his treat.
Whoops.
No.
Whoops. I'm going to mute me.
Okay.
Switching
Yeah,
over-
Jacob, that was not me. Mine are in bed already.
Is that Helen?
Yep.
Is that Helen?
Yeah, this is Helen.
The contest lady from first tier?
Yep.
Yes, that's me.
Okay, great. Okay, I know who you are then. Great. It's Claire. Cool.
Okay, last what question was given to me?
Oh, I was talking about switching over. You said about.
Oh, you can do that as much as you want.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, they actually recommend you're working on different paths in different clubs just to get towards that DTM status.
So it's preferred not to really do that.
It's preferred you work separate in different clubs, but you can switch if you want to.
Okay.
Sounds like you have to be kind of strategic about that, though. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. So you're going to send us some more attachments and
Yep, I'll send the attachments with a link to the video. And then kind of as a review here with our topics, just keep a heads up.
Yep.
External training will be a good one. Obviously next, they're all going to be good ones.
they're all
Yeah,
good.
it sounds like
All good, Jacob.
good